Today, the mood in Santa Clara is different. Discrete signals on offense, a speedy name popping up on the market, and a chess piece ready to slide into place. On the other side, a rookie earned respect and could step into a big role. There's also a familiar face weighing options, waiting for the right moment. And in the middle of it all, a medical update changes the plan for Sunday, while a roster tweak reveals intentions for a decisive week. Who do you want to see on the field first? You won't believe what we've got today. So take a seat, drop a like, and let's dive straight into the news. There's a quiet movement in Santa Clara, while the staff fine-tunes the rotation between Jowan Jennings and rookie Ricky Pearsall. A speedster who thrives on short area separation has hit the market and is sparking internal discussion. Deontay Johnson, released by the Browns last week, comes onto the radar precisely when the team promoted Marquez Valdez-Scantling to the active roster and stays committed to shuffling the WR board. The read is straightforward. They're not hunting for an alpha, but for functional depth that can assimilate the system quickly and deliver conversions within the first few weeks. The season clock is ticking, and every decision has to balance immediate impact, cost, and flexibility. Johnson, 29, brings a resume that grabs attention: 1,161 yards in 2021 and multiple high-volume seasons in Pittsburgh. Translating that to Kyle Shanahan's playbook, he can be the perfect safety valve on crossers, short outs, and option routes, with quick zone reads and precise footwork to attack tight windows. The pro signing case is clear: potentially low cost at this stage of the calendar, big game experience, and the short area separation that keeps the offense on schedule, especially on third and medium. In a timing and angles attack, every inch of space matters, but there's a counterpoint. In 2024, the wideout had brief stints with 3 teams and exited Cleveland at 53-man cutdown, which reopens questions about consistency, ideal role, and snap expectations. In a locker room that demands route execution and perimeter blocking, any arrival must come with a defined function and clear objectives. That's why rival front offices largely converge on this view. If talks advance, the most viable path is a short prove-it deal, loaded with playtime and production incentives, preserving wiggle room for adjustments without tying up cap. And here's the decisive detail: it's not about shifting the offense's axis, but about adding tactical tools for critical moments. The current depth chart snapshot suggests surgical usage, with Jennings trending toward being ready for week 1 and Pearsall rising. Johnson would be a complementary profile, a separator to unlock third downs, toggling between outside and slot, serving as a security blanket when the play action doesn't click. MVS already offers vertical stress. Adding a short to intermediate specialist creates contrast that stretches a defense on 2 levels and simplifies reads for the quarterback. While the staff distributes snaps and defines weekly packages, a veteran with sharpened routes can reduce errors and keep the offense on the field. Status right now: there's no public sign of a scheduled visit or formal offer. The club is actively monitoring, measuring cost-benefit, and watching the queue of suitors. If it progresses, the trend points to a short-term agreement contingent on a physical and a transparent weekly plan, with a defined call sheet and realistic down and distance goals. Does it make sense? Given the context, yes. The outcome hinges on price, competition, and above all, how much the staff values adding another short area separator to a rotation still in flux. And that wasn't even the most surprising part of the day. Something is different. This season, for the first time since 2017, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are set to lean heavily on rookies to carry the load right out of the gate. And it's not just first-rounder Mikael Williams drawing attention. Though the Georgia pass rusher is under the spotlight, the true wild card might be a far less expected name: Upton Stout. The 5'9" Western Kentucky corner earned his way up in training camp to the point of edging out a veteran and appearing as a starter on the initial depth chart. But a calf injury kept him out of the preseason and left fans wondering if that August hype was legit. Now the suspense ends. All signs point to Stout taking the field in Week 1 against the Seattle Seahawks. A perfect stress test, divisional rival, road opener, and a remodeled opposing offense. We're no longer talking about DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett as the main threats, but a curious blend of Jackson Smith, Najib Bey, and a veteran Cooper Kupp trying to rekindle past form. Who'll be throwing? An old acquaintance of Santa Clara, Sam Darnold, who knows the red and gold defensive style well. It's drama on cue, a rookie versus a former 49ers quarterback trying to prove his worth in a hostile environment. The detail here is that Stout already built a reputation for punching above his weight, compensating for size with aggressiveness, route recognition, and the courage to contest passes in traffic. In Robert Saya's system, which demands discipline, the nickel must diagnose fast and tackle firm to limit yards after catch. If he delivers from the opening snap, San Francisco may have found its piece to neutralize quick separators on third downs, closing a gap that lingered in high-leverage games. Imagine the strategic impact, freeing the rest of the secondary for bolder adjustments, boosting the pass rush's confidence, and turning the slot into a no-fly zone. The fan base sits between anxiety and excitement. Some wonder if it's too soon to throw so much responsibility at a rookie who missed the entire preseason rhythm. Others swear Stout will be a steal, a find who'll become a defensive fixture earlier than expected. One thing is certain, the weight of the debut will be enormous. The narrative is set, the rookie has to prove on the field that he merits Shanahan and Lynch's trust. And if he shines, there'll be no doubt that this risky bet on youth can become a competitive edge. And that, my friends, might just be the beginning. If it looked like the wide receiver situation was under control with Ja'Cory Jennings' return, reality showed there's still room to maneuver. That's where the most intriguing chapter appears, a possible reunion between San Francisco and Kendrick Bourne. The veteran, freshly released by the Patriots, knows Shanahan's system inside out, was molded at Levi's Stadium, and understands exactly what it means to be a complementary piece in a star-studded offense. No surprise he received a formal offer from the 49ers right after visiting the team. But the story took a twist. Bourne didn't sign immediately. He chose to hear out Washington as well, a team rebuilding its offense and, interestingly, already featuring two names familiar to the faithful. Terry McLaurin and none other than Deebo Samuel moved there in the offseason. In Washington, Bourne would be at best a third option. In San Francisco, the chance for early impact seems bigger, even if temporary. Jennings returns from injury, Pearsall is ascending, and Brandon Ayuk continues his recovery from the serious 2024 knee injury. Through roughly week 6, there'd be plenty of room for Bourne to stack crucial routes and stabilize the group. Only the veteran chose to play the game off the field. He decided to wait. Risky but smart, the market can change in a matter of days. One injury in any receiving room, be it the Niners or Washington's, and suddenly his value goes up. In other words, Bourne is betting time is on his side. Fans, of course, are split. Some feel snubbed by the hesitation, as if he didn't value the chance to wear red and gold again. Others see it as a savvy move by a veteran who knows the market and wants the best shot at prolonging a relevant career. Strategically, the wait has two reads. For the front office, the risk is minimal. The offer's on the table, there's no absolute urgency, and Jennings' return reduces pressure. For the locker room, though, uncertainty creates needless suspense, especially in a position where group chemistry matters. Picture the narrative. Bourne lands, instantly resyncs with Shanahan, and offers third down trust until Ayuk is back. Now picture the opposite. He picks Washington, and the Niners roll with a lean rotation, hoping no one else gets hurt. What this shows is simple. The franchise is willing to revisit past ties, but won't panic. Fans may grumble, but if Bourne returns, it'll be on terms that favor the club. And if he doesn't, the lane remains open for young players like Pearsall to grow under pressure. The Kendrick Bourne chapter is one of those that exposes the fine balance between nostalgia and pragmatism. And while the Red Nation debates whether the reunion is a want or a need, it feels like this storyline still has a twist left in it. San Francisco's first official injury report of the season delivered tension and relief at once. The list started heavy. Yetur Gross-Matos out with a knee issue, Jordan Watkins out with an ankle. That immediately raised alarms on the defensive front and within the receiver group. But there was good news too. Ja'Cory Jennings returned on a limited basis. Dominic Pooney and Jordan James practiced in a controlled capacity, and head coach Kyle Shanahan said all of them have a real shot to play Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks. He was unequivocal. Jennings is healthy enough to play, cleared by a final MRI, and there are no setback concerns. That detail changes everything. Jennings is the confidence barometer for the WR group. If he's on the field in week 1, the offense instantly gains physicality and security on short routes. Even limited, he's the link that lets targets distribute among Pearsall, MVS, and Russell Gage, recently promoted to ensure depth. Fans felt the sting when he went down in camp, and now they can exhale. But you can't ignore it. Jennings' contract situation is unresolved, as is Colton McKivitz's. Shanahan admitted he wants both long-term but acknowledged the financial side. The message is clear. While they produce on Sundays, the future is uncertain. On the defensive front, Gross-Matos' absence is concerning. Even with Shanahan confirming no recovery setbacks, missing early prep matters when you think about rhythm and rotation. The pass rush fit needs everyone sharp, especially in a divisional matchup where pressure on Darnold can set the tone. Watkins being out also trims options on offense, but promoting MVS is a direct response to that gap. Shanahan made it clear he wanted the veterans locked onto the active roster for Sunday, signaling that each spot was chosen strategically. Fan reaction is a full roller coaster. On one side, relief that Jennings is cleared. On the other, unease over who's missing. Still, what stands out is the staff's conviction in keeping the group competitive despite limitations. And there's an intangible here, the confidence Shanahan projects. When the coach says a player is healthy enough to play, it sends a message of strength to the locker room and the fan base. In a psychological game like a road opener in Seattle, that assurance can matter. So the week begins with dilemmas, aligning medical prudence with competitive urgency. urgency, balancing pending contracts with on-field focus, and above all, assembling an active roster that can handle the pressure of opening day. The script for Sunday is drawn, and the margin for error feels thinner. But maybe that's exactly what pushes the team to prove its worth. And as we digest this storm of information, you can already sense it. The real impact of these decisions won't be known until the kickoff echoes at Lumen Field. And at the end of this whirlwind, you can feel the 49ers hitting the opener with a combustible mix of hope and pressure. On one hand, the possibility of reinforcing the offense with familiar names or fresh bets, balancing cost and impact. On the other, the boldness of putting rookies on the field as protagonists, carrying the responsibility of keeping the defense at an elite level. In between, the Bourne saga shows how strategy and emotion walk side by side in football, while the injury report reveals how thin the line is between stability and chaos. The fan looks at all of this and asks, is this the moment when youth and experience fuse into an unstoppable team? Or will the weekly need for adjustments exact a price right away? That's the tension that keeps the flame alive, that turns every headline into a heated debate, every rumor into hope or worry. And that's exactly why being here, tracking every detail, is so thrilling. So Red Nation, I want to know, which of these storylines do you think will define our season right from the jump? Drop your take in the comments, hit like, and share this video with someone who lives this passion as intensely as you do. The game is just starting, and this season has unforgettable written all over it.